we go. Here we go.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody. It's Monday. We're back to Monday already. It seems like the weekend went so darn fast. But Monday's a good one here at Memory Bound because we've got Teresa. You're kind of back to your old
I am. My Mondays, yes.
And I love that sweater. I didn't tell you earlier, but I love that color.
I love green.
I love green, too. Anyway, Teresa's here today, and she's got some projects with the new release from Pinkfresh Studios. And we haven't shown Pinkfresh Studios for a long time, it seems like. We had some Christmas things, and then remember they sold out before we had a chance to show them. Yeah. So anyway, Teresa's here. She's got some really great projects that you're going to love. Teresa took a virtual class that we had at a virtual trade show and with Pinkfresh, but then you took it to a whole nother.
Yes.
She took it. She's got Tim Holtz stamps here. She's got, look at her stack of Tim Holtz ink she's going to show us.
Got some LDRS going on.
Got a lot going on here, man.
Yeah.
And look at the projects. Teresa, I saw this one and I went, oh my gosh. Very fun. Yeah. So welcome everybody to Memory Bound. It's Monday morning. It's President's Day.
It is.
So I don't know if you have a job where you get President's Day off, or maybe if you're in retail like us and we're open on President's Day, but Candy says no school today.
Yeah. We'll have some extra viewers maybe.
Oh, I hear Danny said it's snowing in Omaha, so I wonder if that's coming our way.
You know, when I left home, it was flurrying a little bit.
It was?
And I saw snowplows going, and I'm like, okay, there's not supposed to be that much snow. Why are the snowplows? Yeah. Maybe they were just putting stuff down. I don't know.
Now it's really, really cold here, and
you'd think it'd be too cold to snow.
I think so. We're going to get up to 2 today, 2 degrees.
Yeah. Woo.
And then well below 0 tonight. So winter definitely has happened.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Gloria, her name, she just went by. She's here, and I thought, oh my gosh, what if your last name was Winters? This is your season.
It is.
This is her season. And Marcia's watching, and Wendy Jean is here. And I see that Joyce has joined us with a little smiley face. And Sandy says it's freezing in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's going to be freezing here all week long until the weekend. And then it's going to warm up and be unseasonably warm.
Yes.
So we're going from one, we can make it through a few days to have that nice warm weather coming. So hi, Chris, and hi, Connie, and we've got Linda's here, another Chris, Kimberly. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here today at Memory Bound. And we are located right in the middle of Iowa. So if you're not familiar, or if you're new, if you're a newbie, let us know. Kimberly says she's off for President's Day.
Okay.
And she's worked out, and it worked out. I thought she said she worked out, and maybe you did, Kimberly, but it worked out so she could go to an HOA, a special HOA meeting today. Crafty Kathy, howdy doody. Sandy's excited because she wants to know how you store your ink pads. Are they stored flat or not flat? And Gloria says, it is me, the coldest girl watching live today, Gloria Winters. And she put Winters all in cap. Gloria, I never thought about your name as being a season until just today when I saw it. And Audrey Snow is watching.
Oh,
so from northern Georgia. So Audrey, that's a pretty good winter name also. Oh, I love it. I love it. Let's see if there's any other. We got Donna from Baker from Bakersfield, so hello. Colleen says 40 degrees below wind chill, South Dakota.
I was going to say she must be in South Dakota because they were been talking about that.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Barb's having hot tea this morning, which is a perfect morning for that. All right, well, we will talk about Teresa's ink pad storage because she brought it today, and I think you're going to love seeing it. We need to get our labels probably.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to ring the bell? So you are at Memory Bound, and you're here with, I'm Kelly, and Teresa's here, and we're going to show you some crafty stuff this morning. And, Iwana took a mental health day.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I hope that we are a great part of your mental health day.
Crafting is good therapy and relaxation.
It is good therapy.
And we're going to do stencils today, so those are, I think, relaxing.
They are, and they're fun to do. And they're going to be wow. When you pull your stencil back, you're going to go, ooh, wow, I did that. So, and we have Janet here, you guys. I always want to make sure I give a shout out to Janet. She is here from Texas. And she said they're going to have record temperatures there in the Dallas-Fort.
Low or high?
I believe low.
Okay.
I believe low.
Well, you never know. It could be high.
I need to be more specific.
There's a high front coming next week here for us.
A high front?
Yes. Or, I don't know what they call it.
Well, Chris says it's going to be in the 80s in Phoenix.
See?
So, all right. And Carla's here from Clifton, Virginia. We have a lot of people joining us.
All
Teresa.
right.
No pressure at all, but we got a full house. All right. And they're saying hello to Janet. Janet is there. If you have questions, we get comments and we see them, but we don't see them all. And sometimes the comments, they're, let's see, we got 3 lines that go across the bottom of the camera, and as they move. Now, they don't move as fast as Tim Holtz's.
No. His whip by.
How many of you have watched Tim Holtz's video, which he was just on Saturday?
Yes, he was.
And I caught a piece of it. I don't know how long the video was. Do you know?
It was 3 hours.
It was 3 hours? So anyway, and it's a good thing to go back, and even if you listen to it in the background while you're crafting or something,
what I do.
I think you'll enjoy learning. It was all about distress. And I think you will learn a lot from Tim. He's very informative.
Yes.
But his comments, they fly by. Ours just kind of click, click, click. So, oh my gosh, Darla, you know what she said? She wondered if we'd get a surprise visit from the MBTV skit in honor of SNL's 50 years.
Oh my gosh, that show was so good last night.
Well, we had to record it because our kids were over,
Yeah.
so we had to record it. But I'm going to watch it tonight. I love Saturday Night Live.
They did have they briefly showed the 2 ladies.
Did they?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, you never know. They might show up. I think that's a great idea. Darla, I wish you would have mentioned it like a week ago.
When we opened the studio.
But it could, I know. Oh my gosh. Teresa, why didn't we think of that? That would have been awesome. So anyway, we'll have to think on that and come up with something. That's a really good plan. You never know when they might show up. They haven't been here for a while. They weren't here at Christmas.
No.
So we'll see. Verna Lynn just jumped on. So Teresa, tell us what we got going on today.
Well, we're going to show you some Pinkfresh stamped stencil dies, and some of them are combos that I used, and some of them I broke apart, and some are just or what are they called? Plates.
Cutting plates?
Cover plate.
Cover plates.
And some are just dies. So
Teresa, I love this. Oh my gosh, look at these colors, you guys. I absolutely love that.
So we're just going to show you a few Pinkfresh first. These are some new ones. And this one is called, this is just a stamp set, and it's called With Love. And it's $15.99. It's a nice flower.
What you can do with like this flower here, you can see that stem, you could even put hello friend and have it going up or down your stem, those little words. I think that would be a neat thing to do with that.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
And this one is called Thinking of You, and it has a die that goes with it. So the stamp is $15.99 and the die is $18.99.
And it's a sympathy. Well, it's thinking of you, but it also has that really nice with sympathy.
And these would make real pretty easy cards. You stamp the flower and then you stamp your sentiment and you're good. Or you can die cut it.
Really
die cut the sentiments. This is called Fancy Edges. Ooh, those look fun. I'm going to just flip it around because it's a better view on the back.
For sure.
Yeah, you saw the front. You can see how long they are. It doesn't say exactly how long they are, but you could trim it down to whatever size. Those are really fun. I like the one with the little, looks like kind of stitching on it. Okay, then this one is Decorative Circles, and it's kind of, I'm going to turn this one around too. It's $11.99.
3 dies.
It's kind of like a doily.
That's what I thought too.
So you can,
like a doily.
Cut them all together or cut them separately. That's a fun one for something different, if you need something different. Sometimes I get tired of rectangles, I use rectangles a lot. This is, okay, then now we have the cover plates, which is really fun. So this one is called Dotted Chevron. Remember when chevron was just everywhere?
Yeah.
I love chevron. I like this one. This is a nice basic
and
background.
Teresa's got some samples where she used one of the cover plates, and you'll see it. It just is going to poke those chevron lines.
Yeah. So it doesn't cut the edge. So you put your piece on there and then trim around it, or trim to whatever size that you want. So you don't have to use it as the whole background. I should have done that. I didn't do that. Now that I'm saying it. This one's called Hearts and Stars. It's $20.99 also. Super cute. You could use this for Valentine's or any other time of the year. This one is going to have a lot of little pieces.
It's got
the hearts,
stars
the stars,
and
the
little
holes. I know. This one's going to be a messy one, but that's all right.
That's why you have your
Sometimes
brush.
those are the prettiest, yes. This one's called Floral Backdrop. Can you see that one okay?
Yeah, we can see it great. And
I have a picture on the back. I didn't
Val
know.
has used, oh, you want to flip it over?
Maybe you can
Val
see that better.
has used this a lot on her cards, her quilt style cards,
Yeah.
and then you emboss it after you piece them, or I'm sorry, you cut it, the plate after you piece them, and it looks like they're stitched. And that one looks very stitchy.
Yeah. This is Charming Stitched Florals. Ooh, that one is just fancy.
That is.
$20.99. Very
We
pretty.
might have to make samples of all of these because they are pretty cool.
Yeah. When you see it in real life, it's much more impressive than just looking at the plate.
A metal plate.
Yeah, the metal plate. I mean, it's not boring, but, and this one's called Tulip Love. And this one, you've used this one, haven't you, Kelly?
Yeah, we've had this one before.
And Val maybe used this one too. Super cute. So this is a repeat, but these are some of them are new. Really cute.
So those are the cover plates.
Yeah.
So that's some of our newer. They might be reordered. And there's a couple others that
Yeah.
Teresa's using today. I don't know if you want to show them first or.
This
show
is
'em when
the
you use-
cover plate. It's called Stitched Basket Weave. And it's $20.99 also. And this one is great for Easter that's coming up, I think.
It would be.
But also you can use it any time of year. And I can just show as I go. So this is, I just had to do it on a craft piece because it looks more like a basket. But I have a couple that aren't. But isn't that pretty? I just love it.
It just adds a little bit to your background
Yes.
other than just a plain paper.
It's just a good basic background. So I really like that one. And then, okay, we've got just some basic dies. So we've got the nested oval double stitch. And I am not an oval gal, but once I started making cards with ovals,
did use it.
I used it, and I used it a couple different ways, which was exciting for me. And I might need to get this one. This one's $16.99. And I think part of the reason I like this one is because of the stitching.
And it's double stitching.
Yes, double stitching. And I do have a hard time with ovals. I think I use ovals more at Easter time because of the eggs and the whole Easter theme. So I probably don't use them as much other times of year, but I might have to get this one because of the stitching. I really like that.
And Teresa's going to show us her samples with
Yes.
that one too. These are all ones that Teresa used.
And then this one is called Scalloped Grid. And we had a couple people that bought this. I know Tammy bought this weekend, and then her friend bought it because she cut it out and thought it was so much fun. So this is also a fun one that there's a couple different ways that you can use it.
I saw online where they cut it and just did this top part.
Oh, yeah?
And it was like a picket fence, and they had went around the bottom of
A
card with flowers.
What a cute idea. Yeah.
I think that was on Instagram.
So that one's fun. Then we have some bundles, and these are 10% off, Kelly. So we bundled them together, and this one is Radiant Hearts and Stars. So
Look at
I
that.
don't know.
It's all connected into one big die, which
Yes.
I love.
And this is really fun. And then the stencil, I'm just going to turn it around. So you get multiple stencils, and if you haven't bought Pinkfresh before, that's kind of how they do their stencils, so they're layered. And there's a trick to this one and the one that we're going to show you one so you can see how much fun they are. But this one you can do different colors, or you could do a gradient, or it would be super fun.
School colors or whatever it might be, or something to match your layout.
So it's $35.97 for both pieces, and that is 10% off the regular price because we're bundling it, giving you a deal.
And Colleen says she likes to use ovals in her heritage albums.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think
That's
you
a
do
great
think
idea.
of oval picture
Yes, you
frames
do.
being older ones.
Yeah. And I don't really do heritage, so maybe that's why. But I'm trying to get on the oval bandwagon. especially this time of year.
Cindy wants to know if, speaking of eggs, if we've seen the thing. I think it's on Facebook about dyeing potatoes instead of eggs this year.
Because it's cheaper?
Yeah, it's really
no,
funny.
I haven't. That is funny.
I don't know how, I didn't see how they did it, but I thought it was pretty funny. All right, Katie says 2 of her favorites, stars and hearts.
Okay, this one's called Fresh Florals, and this is one that I used on a card, and I'll show you in a minute how to use this die. So again, there's the die and the stencil, and they're bundled together for $35.98.
And they're 10% off.
Yes.
So, and those flowers all cut apart. They don't stay together. So it looks like one die, but it's kind of neat because you only have to cut them once.
Yes, and you get a bunch of different things. And the other thing it does is, and I'll show you, you'll see this, it embosses the lines.
Oh.
So when you stencil it, it looks kind of plain. But then when you cut it, it puts the embossing. Because after I embossed it, or stenciled it, I was like, oh, it's okay. And then I die cut it, and I'm like, oh, these are cute.
And here's an example of the flowers. I love this. I keep picking it up, you guys, because I think it's so cool. And I realize now you got the little dots, the little flower centers there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, this one is called, what is it called?
Something correspondence, isn't it?
Classic Correspondence, yes. So this one comes with a stamp.
A huge stamp.
A huge stamp.
It's huge.
Lots of sentiments, lots of images. And then it comes with your stencil, which is fun, and then your die. Now on this one, I'm going to tell you, and it's $66.97. That's 10% off. So you get all 3 pieces, which you need to make your.
It's better to have
your
all
background.
3.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of zoom in on some of these. You're a first-class friend. I'm sorry for the late delivery. Missing you. Happy mail. Happy belated birthday. It takes a long time to grow an old friend. You've been on my mind constantly. And look at, there's like letter stuff, correspondence things like
Yes.
tape and a
Stamps.
pen and inkwell and a letter.
Some washi tape. So I'm just going to show you the stamp.
Christy commented that it die cuts with no white edges around the flowers.
Oh, yeah.
She's talking about going back to this one.
It cuts
Fresh
the flower
florals.
right out.
It cuts the flower out,
Yeah.
so there's no.
So this stamp comes all together. So you stamp it. You stamp it, and it stamps all of them. So you do not cut these apart. And I have to tell a story that one time my mom bought one of these, and she cut the stamps apart. And then she realized that you don't want to do that because the die is all hooked together and cuts out everything without the white lines. Like, I can't remember who said that. But it's pretty handy that you get everything
like that
cut
on purpose.
Yes, it's like that on purpose. So you know how I'm always saying, cut your stamps apart, cut your stamps apart. Don't cut the stamps apart on this one, please, because it'll mess you up big time. So that's another nice thing about these stamps. And
well, it's nice because you just have to do it once.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times when you're die cutting a bunch of small pieces, well, you don't do that here. You just die cut it all at once. So I think that's pretty handy dandy.
The other thing I want to say is that Pinkfresh, when they give you their dies, they give you a little piece of magnet, which is really nice because then all your dies, see, they stay together.
Oh my gosh, do that again,
I know.
Teresa. You went too fast. Look, they stay on the package.
They stay on the packaging. So it's really nice if you store your stamps that way that you don't have to buy your own. They give it to you. So, okay. So let's talk about the samples first. All right. I'm just going to show. Maybe I'll show. Okay. So I showed this one.
So we're going to start with the classic correspondence.
Yes, the classic correspondence. So that's what I did with this one.
Oh my gosh, Teresa, I love those colors.
So again, you stencil first, and then you die cut, and then you put your card together, and it's super easy. And you can use whatever, sentiment you want, or these are going to be working with other sentiments, I'm sure. Probably could use them in scrapbooking.
I like how you group that together. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
And on this one I used oxides. I didn't write the colors down on the back because you kind of use a lot of colors, but you can use whatever colors you want. But because I was on a craft paper, I wanted the colors to be truer on my images, so I used the oxides on this one.
And the cover plate.
And the cover plate, yep.
And that was Basket. What's the name of that one? I can't remember. I can't read it this far away.
Stitch Basket Weave.
Stitch Basket Weave.
Yeah, super cool.
It's so nice, Teresa, that you did these samples so we could see what this does.
Yeah.
And you don't have to use the stencil. You can watercolor them or
Yep.
use Copic markers or whatever if you want.
So this is the one that I made in class, and they use the double stitched oval, nested ovals, double stitched, and they used I used some of Tim Holtz's metallic paper, and I thought that was really pretty. And then again the background, and we inked it, which I really liked. I don't know, you could have inked from the bottom up, but I did the
So you
top
it's kind
down.
of gradually got lighter.
Yeah.
So you went from pink to white.
And then we used the inside of the oval, and we also inked that, which is fun.
That is really, really cool.
And then we popped our sentiment and just kind of grouped our pieces down here. What does that one say? Thank you for handling me with care.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
it is. Now the Tim Holtz metallic papers, I think we need to ring the bell so we can show those.
I forgot about that.
Because you didn't do it on this, but you can sand those. And
Yes,
things like
yes,
That. Will you get us? Thanks, Peggy.
I kept this
We got Peggy in the back here helping us out.
bright and shiny. So that was fun. You put the inside back in, so it'll cut the inside. So to do this, what you have to do is you have to die cut 2 ovals. So
At
when
the
you
same time?
Yes. So when you die cut your ovals, well, see, there's my inside. So when you die cut it, you have to use 2 ovals to get the,
Thanks, Peggy.
excuse me, I still have a little bit of a cough on occasion. So you have to die cut 2 ovals to get the frame. And then you end up with the inside that I didn't use, so it's an extra. So it is
Okay.
nice because there's a variety of sizes.
And you would have used the metallic colors.
Yes.
Which the pink one is right on top. Oh, and there's our camera. You can see it right in it. And then it has all of these other fun, bright colors, which is great for Easter. Gosh, if you want to do Easter eggs, wouldn't this be great paper
yeah.
for that? And they are 6 by 9 inches, and you get 24 sheets. And it also has just the metallic classics. So if you want the silver and gold and platinum and that. And here are the colors from the color ones. And you get 2 of each. And Teresa uses these quite often.
I do
Because
like them.
they're craft backs, so you can
Yeah.
sand them and the craft paper comes through, which I guess you can't really see on the packaging.
Yeah. But
That's really cool.
that was in class. We also made this one in class. So this was really fun. I never would have thought of this. We used the scalloped grid. I don't know the names of them. And then we cut the card base. Well, we put the, how
So
did
you
we do it?
You cut an extra piece.
Yeah,
for
we
the
cut an
top.
extra piece for the top, and it's laid on top of the card, and that way the grid shows through. So we used both of them. So we did use the oval, but you can't see it because it just cut. Let's see what size
just
it
cut
is.
out you left
it
the
just
negative.
Cut the, oh, yes, you left the negative. So if you want the stitching, you really have to cut 2 pieces to get the stitching and then to get the frame. You end up with extra pieces, so I just
never
slip it
know
in
when
my
you might
bag.
need 'em, right?
That's right. That's right. So this one was super fun because I never would have thought to layer a shape on top of.
Well, and it looks like you inked the actual card front and then
Yes.
laid everything on top.
We did.
Did you use like foam
Again,
tape? Is that
yep.
why it's a little
Yep.
dimensional?
And then another thing with these sentiments, this one is not pop dotted. One of them I pop dotted, but it's kind of hard to pop dot these little skinny sentiments. So you just die cut. That's a nice part that they have the dies for the words. So you can just die cut several over and over again. So I think I did 3 and just layered them. And then you don't have to pop dot because it raises up.
So you just die cut multiple times.
Yes.
And glue them all together with your stamped one on the top. And then that's how you got it a little bit more dimensional.
Yeah. And this one has a belated birthday card, which I actually need to make. My niece's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I had her.
You'll have to drive over and deliver it to her.
Yeah. She was on my to-do list, and somehow that I didn't pay attention to my list. So we made that one in class. And then what else did we make in class? We made this one in class also. And so this is using the floral one. And can you see the little, I guess they're little cut lines. Mm-hmm. They're not really embossed.
Yeah, they're cut, which
but
is
they
cool.
just add dimension. And you'll see because I'm going to show you how the stencils work. And then the scallops just fit just perfectly on an A2 card. Yes, just perfectly fits on there.
And that's the scallop grid. And it's funny because I look at these and I think, oh, that looks bigger than an A2
It does,
card.
doesn't it?
But
yeah.
it fits.
Yeah, and that's the same with the cover plates. They fit perfectly on the A2 card. So.
And Teresa, we have a question. Is that colored with markers?
No. That's oxide also.
So that's
this one I have the
ink.
colors Kitsch Flamingo, Spun Sugar, Peeled Paint, and Shaded Lilac.
That's a good combination.
Yeah. So you can use whatever colors that you want. So those were the ones that I made in class. And then I decided that I needed to make some extra ones. I showed you this one. Yeah, I didn't make that one in class.
So that was an extra. We can always count on you. Ooh, what a nice, clean, and simple card.
Yes, I like the white on white. So this kind of negates the reason for the stencil, but you can just die cut the flowers.
But it gives you another
way to use it. Yes,
Yeah.
you can just die cut, and you could use other colors as well for the flowers if you wanted to, because again, it does cut the little lines in it, and so it makes it look really nice.
So that would be a great wedding card also.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the white on white with those flowers, the way you arranged them is really nice.
Yeah. And again, I use the background stitch basket weave. I'm never going to remember. And then I use the Happy Mail, I know, from the stamp set. And I, again, die cut 3 pieces just to pop it up there. It was just easier, and it just gives it a nice even instead of pop dots using that.
Wouldn't this one be pretty for a wedding card
Oh,
also?
yeah.
The
that would be nice.
Charming Stitch Florals. I think that would make a nice background, too. They're very subtle, but it's not plain. It's not like plain white paper. I think that's why we like it so much. Everyone likes the Bunny says she loves the white on white.
Good.
And then all of these were colored with inks.
Yeah.
You could use your Copic markers. You could use other markers. You could use watercolor. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot my words again. This one I love, Teresa.
This one
really
I decided,
love
you know, a lot of these were really, I felt cleaner. Well, I guess we inked on the backgrounds on some of them. But some of them, the last 2 were really clean.
The flowers were clean.
Yeah, the flowers were clean. And so I thought, I'm going to grunge it up a little bit. And so I did use the oval, just a plain white oval. I wanted something, you know, I did the flowers and I'm like, it needs something else. So I added just a plain white frame. I mean, I could have used a color, but I just thought it's just really subtle enough.
It's amazing.
And the flowers are so easy to group just together with the greenery. So this time I used Crackling Campfire, Prized Ribbon, Lucky Clover, and Gathered Twigs. So I went totally outside. I don't use Lucky Clover very often. I used to use it a lot at St. Patrick's Day. It's a pretty bright green. It's just a different green. I like it, but I don't use it very often. And so I used Lucky Clover on both of these. One I just used really lightly, and the other I went really heavy.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the same color, only it just is a shade darker. Then what I did is I splatted some water.
So did you, okay.
So
did you stencil them with your oxides?
Yep, I stenciled them with my oxides. And as a matter of fact, I brought the background to show you. Can you see it maybe better on the white? Excuse me. So you can see that I
did the different colors.
I stenciled them, and then I splattered some water on them. So that's why they have it oxidized a little bit there. You can see. And then I die cut them. Oh, I also splattered them with a pencil.
Watercolor
pencil. A watercolor pencil. So I splattered a little gathered twigs is the color that I used.
So if we zoom in, you can see
the little dots on there. Then, and you can see it on this background paper too. Then I die cut it, and then I inked a little bit with some gathered twigs just to give it a little bit more.
They're really super cool, Teresa.
Yeah. And I did splat the background too.
Has sold me on the die and the stencil. Seeing that makes me want it really bad. It's kind of a Peggy grouping with the florals and the leaves and everything. She always does a really nice job with that.
And then I splatted on the inside of the oval, and I forgot to bring my piece. But, you know, if you just, when you die cut your oval, then you end up with the background piece. So I just laid that on top because I didn't want my splats everywhere.
So
I just wanted them inside.
Negative space.
Yeah, the negative piece of paper. And so then I just splatted and then lifted the piece off, and then my splats were just inside there.
Interesting.
And then you guys knew you were going to see the What's Up Buttercup because I have the LDRS, what's it called? Oh, Hops and Waddles. And I bought this stamp set because of the What's Up Buttercup.
Because of the What's Up Buttercup?
Yes. Yes. So that's kind of fun.
So that's Hops and Waddles. That's one of their collage stamps for spring and Easter. And it's got that little tiny chicken and the little bunny rabbit.
Yes. I use that on another card too. I'll show you in a minute. So, you know, these flowers, you can use the stamp set that we have, or you can use whatever stamp set that you have, you know, whatever sentiment. Flowers are an easy, you can put any kind of sentiment with. Sympathy, wedding, birthday, what's up? Hello, friend.
Or What's Up Buttercup.
Yes, What's Up Buttercup. So that one was fun. I wanted to do a little bit of a grungy, splattery kind. Since I have the LDRS, I was really trying to use my ovals, and I thought I had cut this out because of the background for this one. That was the inside of that one. So you got to use it.
So once
it's sitting on your table.
Once you cut them, you're going to have a lot of extra pieces.
Yes, you're going to have extra pieces. So I got my LDRS stamp out, and I just stamped inside an oval, which I have not done before, and it was kind of fun trying to fit in that little space. So yeah. And then, of course, it looked kind of plain on a white card when I put my oval down, and I didn't have any paper with me when I was making this.
So you did a little splattering?
So I used some of the Distress Spritz, the picked raspberry, so it has a little bit of a shimmer. It's such a hard thing to show on camera.
It doesn't look, you can't really see it too much on camera, but it's a great Easter
like a speckled egg.
Don't you
Yes,
think?
That's what I was going for. So I just splatted my shimmer on there, and that was just kind of a fun.
It worked. It looks
so it's
really
a different way
good.
to use your double stitched oval. Then I had one more way to use the oval.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
Teresa.
So I got Mr. Rabbit out.
And we brought Mr. Rabbit back because he's a classic.
I love
Tim
Mr.
Holtz.
Rabbit, yes. And so I actually, excuse me, I actually heat embossed Mr. Rabbit using the Lost Shadow. And that is a color that I don't use very often in my embossing, but I wanted a gray rabbit. And then his...
So your glaze was Lost Shadow?
Yes.
Or your ink? The glaze?
The glaze.
Okay.
I actually used the Lost Shadow oxide ink. So you can use the oxides to heat emboss. So I wanted it really Lost Shadow color. So I used instead of using a clear embossing ink. Then for Mr. Rabbit's accessories,
Yes.
I got out the Curiosity Shop, which I just love. Because there's just such a, well, the pointy finger, of course.
He's got the hat.
He's got the hat
mustache.
and the mustache.
And where's the bow tie?
The bow tie
that's on
is
him.
on
Okay.
him, so I just cut that out.
All right. But you got 2 hat choices,
Yes,
if you'd
there's
like.
2 hat choices. Oh, I didn't even think about the other hat. So I heat embossed. I actually had my piece of paper and I heat embossed Mr. Rabbit on there, and then I got my die cut out and I die cut him. So you can see out of my piece of paper, there's the tops of his ears. So I just wanted to have the oval.
So that's flat. Oh, okay. So then you took a piece out and put it back in.
Yes. So I took the piece out and then I stamped. Mr. Rabbit has the little rustic plaid there. Mm-hmm. And so I stamped on the sides. And then I used and I stuck my
Teresa,
oval back in.
I don't think you've ever done that in a
I know.
technique. That's really new
It was
and different.
kind of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. And I used crackling campfire for the orange. For the hat and the mustache and just saying hello, just say hello, that is hickory smoke glaze.
Okay.
And ink. And just saying hello is one of the stamps from the stamp set.
And there's
which I like that
a
stamp.
question is that on regular cardstock, your card base?
I used watercolor.
For the
So
top
I
of,
put it-
okay, so it's on the top of your card.
Yeah.
Is this one regular cardstock then?
Yes, this is just the card base.
All right.
Yeah. Because I didn't know that I was going to be doing that. And so I just did it. And, you have to, it might be a little warpy.
Oh, it looks
It's a little warpy.
Once it's in an envelope,
But I
it's
could have,
fine.
or I could have put a book. Oop,
Oh,
don't
you
look
did
at
the back? Okay, don't look at the back.
Okay, I'll show you the back. Not everything works. You see, I thought I wanted to have 3 colors.
But that's a cool background.
It is, but I didn't like it once I put that behind it. And so Kim actually said, why don't you just do the pink? And I said, oh, good idea, Kim.
Go. There you
and
go.
so I just did that. Yes, I'll probably cut this off and use it for something else and stick this on a card front. But
Well,
yeah, I wasn't going to, I can't believe I did that. I
you
wasn't going to
accidentally
show
flipped
that.
it. All right. Well, Julie thinks the mustache is hilarious.
Yes.
And
It fit-
she
it
says
fit
you're very
perfectly.
creative. And Gloria said, Mr. Rabbit, the best stamp set. He's never looked so distinguished.
Yes.
And Bunny says, gotta love rabbits. You know her name's Bunny.
Oh, yes.
So, of course.
I hope you have
and
Mr.
Stanny
Rabbit,
said so
Bunny.
many good ideas. Well, hopefully she has Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah.
If not, we know where you can get it.
Yes.
And Teresa, I'm really glad you saved this.
Yeah.
I thought seeing this was really helpful. I hope you guys did too, of how she came up with this card.
All right. So we're going to
we're
show
gonna
you
do something.
Yeah, we're
Yay,
going to show
everybody.
you how the fresh florals works. Okay. So somebody wanted to know how I store my inks, and I use the Tim Holtz Distress tins. I've got all my oxides in there in rainbow color. So I have 3 tins.
And they hold how many?
Of oxides.
15? They hold 15, don't they?
Yeah, 15. And I actually have one more. I have an antique linen that I don't have in my tin.
Oh,
and
she
I
needs another tin.
No, I think I'm good. I think I have all the colors I need. I don't have them all, obviously. I think you need 4 tins for all of them.
So here's the tin, and you look at Teresa's. They're made to stack. They've
Yes.
got a little,
They have a little
lip on the top
Yep.
that the next one just sits right into, and they stack really nicely. And they are $13.99. So thank you, Tim, for coming up with a great idea. And you'll see the labels in this picture. And we actually have laser printed those for you on sticker paper.
These are $2.99.
So if you wanted to get the labels, you can order those from Memory Bound. You can download them yourself from Ranger.
Yes.
They're free. We just do it as kind of a service, and
So I have
printed nicely.
these color labels I have on my regular Distress inks, and then I have other white labels on my oxides. It just helps me tell them apart.
Oh, so you know what's
so I
what.
know.
Yeah.
I store them separately, so I don't know why the big deal is, but just when I started getting oxides, I used the white, and so my regular ones have the colored stamps or the colored labels, which I really like.
Now,
and then I'm so anal because when I put my lids on, they have to be.
Oh, they have to be right side
they
up
have
with
to
your
be
label.
right side up
Yep.
with my label. Yes,
I see that. You want it to look neat.
I know.
Now, just another little comment about this. It is a sticker paper, but Tim has so many colors now, you can't find a sticker paper that matches up. Like years ago, there was a sticker paper that matched the labels. So you just have to cut them up and peel off the back. And they do stick really well. So if you're interested in those. So, all right, what are we going to do, Teresa?
Other tools, I have the Best Ever Craft tape, the yellow tape.
And that's the only tape we carry because we like it the best.
This is the medium size for $8.99. I have multiple rolls of these because you just need it around. I like the medium. There's a larger and a smaller size, but whatever works for you. And then for stencils, I love the tiny blending ones.
And Tim talked about these on Saturday on his video, that if he's doing a small space, those are good. If you're doing like a card front, like Teresa did here, then you might want to use the mini blending tool. Let's see. She wants to know if you have the sponge applicators on your stamp pads. You know how some people put the sponges on the bottom of their stamp pads?
You know, I do have one. I did. But anymore, I use these so frequently.
She's got a whole...
I have a whole tub of them. So what I've decided is that, you don't want to mix your oxide blending tools with your distress. Right. If you go distress to oxide, you're fine. But if you go oxide to distress, the pigment will mess up your distress pad. So I keep them in a little bag separately. I guess I have a big one in there.
So you have,
too.
So this is all your oxide.
Yeah, these are all my oxide blending tools. And I seem to keep buying more. Yeah, and then I'll have some.
Well, you love those things.
I've got
and
some
you guys,
foams.
if you like that little zipper pouch, we do have those also.
Yes, it's perfect for.
And we also have a question about your mat on the table, so we're going to have to ring the bell for that. Or Diana, could you get us these two sizes of this mat? Yeah. Diana's going to get it for us. And Brandy will tell you all about it because I personally love it.
Yeah, I do too. So for the fresh florals and also for the ones with the stars and the hearts, the stencils, there's 5 different stencils that you get.
Oh my.
Yes. So they're very particular. So the first thing that you're going to notice is these triangles. And the very, very cool part is that when you ink, let's say this is all inked up, you can see the triangles are still there. So when you're inking, you ink your image and you ink the triangles. And then when you go to cut, I will show you this. The triangles,
you just match
you
up
line
the
them up and it cuts perfectly with no white edges. So it's amazing.
Okay, Teresa, let's show this really quick.
Okay.
Let's have a squirrel moment. So these are the media service, I can't say it, surface mat. And they come in 2 sizes, the travel
$17.99 and $24.99.
and the regular size. And they're actually made to cover the glass media mats.
Yes.
But Teresa, you got me on just using it on my table.
Yes.
I love that because it gives you a little work surface.
It does.
And Teresa's using the travel size right now. But
and these are kind of weighted and they just
they
stay down. It just stays
like
in place.
It's like a silicone, or not a silicone. What do you call that? It's a surface that you can ink on. It wipes right up. You guys, it's from Tim Holtz, so you know it's good. It's a non-stick mat. It's heat resistance. And then you can clean it with soap and water and just air dry it.
Okay.
So you're doing stencil number 1?
Yes. So the other thing is I probably should have put some ink on here. You can put ink on here. It'll tell you up in the corner stencil number 1. And then it also has lines so that you can line up your corners for an A2 card.
If you're going to put it right on the front of your card.
Yeah. So,
yeah, with my stencils from Pinkfresh, I put a little paint on them and then wiped it off.
All right, so I'm lining up the corners so it's going to fit perfectly. We've got new lights today, you guys. And so I've got a little bit of a glare when I'm doing this.
I can't, well, we should have brought my little desk lamp, maybe.
It's fine. Okay, so you have it lined up. So let's see, I have to decide on what colors I want to use. Now, I shouldn't have brought, I wanted to show my tin, so I brought
a lot
it all.
of choices.
So I'm like, what colors do I want to use? So on this one, I got out my color wheel because I would not have put blue and orange together and the green.
That. Oh my
blue,
gosh,
orange,
that
and green.
Is really cool.
Excuse me. You know what I used? I'm going to go bright. Let's see.
She's going bright.
Oops, sorry, just kidding.
It's a fake.
Fake out. Let's try Kitsch Flamingo.
That's a bright.
It's a bright. So even as you're inking your image, you can make it darker along on the edges if you want. And oops, I'm wiggling. I'm going to put a little piece of tape.
You need the Wendy Vecchi station.
So you can put darker along the edges if you have one of these tiny blending tools.
Yeah, I was going to say the tiny blending tool is really handy for that.
And you can do darker along the edges and a little bit lighter. And darker, you just go. Okay, then I want to make sure I get my triangles.
This table is a little shaky, isn't it? That's
all
not
right.
good. Our new table is shaky.
You know what? I'm going to do these the same color, but I'm going to make this one darker all the way around. So you can kind of, when we cut them out, you'll see the difference. And I'll do the same thing with the leaves.
So for our late joiners, we got Teresa here. You're at Memory Bound in Iowa, and I'm Kelly, and Teresa's here. And she's showing us the Pinkfresh. We've got some bundles that have coordinating dies and stencils, or stamps and stencils, or stamps and dies and stencil. And she's working with fresh florals right now. And she's stenciling first and using Kitsch Flamingo, which this will be a good Easter colors, won't it?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go really bright. So there's that one. So then we can just take that one off.
And again, it, like you said, Teresa, it's kind of like,
And normally I would clean that stencil off, but I'm just going to go on to the next one. Okay, I have to remember I did it upside down, so.
So she's lining up those triangles.
So this is stencil number 2.
And she's just reusing her tape, so that's handy. How many stencils are there? 5?
5. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to go, I thought I had yellow. Orange. I want squeezed lemonade.
Are your inks in any order, or are they just alphabetical, or are they just like
Roy
what
G.
happened?
Biv.
Roy G. Biv. Okay. So that she's got them in rainbow. I'm glad you brought your inks, because a lot of people say, "How do I store my inks?" Now you'll notice what she colored before is covered up by the stencils. So
yes.
You don't have to worry about mixing up your colors.
And I'm just going to go dark on these 2. And these 2 are kind of close together, so if you didn't want, them to be both yellow, you could mask off.
Sure.
With a piece of yellow tape. And I'm going to use blue. Let's Salvage
I'm gonna keep Teresa's inks right here so you guys know what she's used on this
I'm going to use
project.
Salvage Patina.
Oh. You know, I was talking with Ranger on Friday, I think it was, and they were talking about oxide versus distress. And it seems like a lot more people are purchasing the oxides. I think distress was the big favorite because it was the first ink, and that's what people had.
Yes.
And now I think people are getting more into the oxides.
Yeah, I like using oxides with stencils because I think they're creamier, and it's easier to blend like I did.
They're a little juicier.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing this for us,
All right,
Teresa.
here's stencil number 3. Make sure I get it the right way.
Oh, and those are your centers, flower centers.
Got my triangles lined up.
I hope everyone's having a happy Monday, a happy President's Day. If you caught the Saturday Night Live special, gosh, I've been watching Saturday Night Live, I think, since it started. Probably watched it more in the earlier days than I have in a more recent time. It was funnier then, maybe because I was younger, knew what was going on.
Every sketch was funny. That was the part that I liked. Because you know when you normally watch, they even did a joke about falling asleep after the weekend update, which I often did.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it got to be late and you would fall asleep. And they did a joke about that, saying that you didn't want to be in the sketch after the weekend update because people would be asleep and miss it. Now we all tape it, but back in the day, if you missed it, you missed it. Yeah. Okay, I'm just doing orange for the
Okay, Sharon
centers.
has mostly oxides and a few distress. She
there
has
you
6
go.
tins.
Woo,
Oh my gosh, so
6
she's got
tins.
3
I only
more.
have 3. I'm only halfway, I guess, huh?
And Kimberly
think there's-
likes the oxides for stamping.
Yeah.
And Teresa, you stamp a lot with
Yeah,
them
I do
also.
stamp with them.
Oh, it's getting more colorful.
And people, are always like, which one do you like better? And I like them both, really. It's just sometimes the mood I'm in, on those cards, some of them I use.
Is this oxide here, your Easter oval? I assume this is oxides.
What does it say? Did I put it on the back? No, I
Oh.
don't look at the
just
back.
showed the back
I
again.
did that
Sorry,
again.
guys.
Um,
But here you can, you still can't see the shimmer
Yes,
on the
it is
camera.
oxide. I did stamp with oxide on that.
Karen also watched it from the beginning in 1975.
Yeah. Okay, now I want Twisted Citron. Ooh, I used a lot of Twisted Citron this weekend. It
Let's
is
just
bright
show.
green.
Here's some Twisted Citron. It's a good, Janet commented earlier that using 2 greens is always really nice when you're doing greenery. Like here, both of these cards Teresa used. I mean, even if this is the same color, it's different darknesses of the same color.
Yeah.
Makes your greenery stand out, guys. So if you're doing greenery, get yourself a couple colors.
Now
Look at this line of colors that we have going on, guys.
really bright.
That looks brighter than I remember.
Twisted Citron,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think when you take the stencil off, it's going to look more green.
Yeah.
It looks kind of yellowy right now.
It does. I'm just going light. I'm going to make this the light leaf, but I am giving a little bit more to the tips just to add a little dimension.
So Janet said she bought the tins, and at first they didn't fit in her IKEA storage unit drawers.
Oh, no.
But she took out the plastic inserts, and oops, her comment just went by.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't get it back. Oh, wait, there it is. And she put those in her drawers. So inside here, if I get close, you can see this plastic insert that actually holds the holds the ink pad. And a lot of people have the Distress Minis.
Oh, yeah. There's a tin for those, too. You probably need tins.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think being organized and storing your stuff is part of the hobby.
Yes.
Teresa, you said you were going bright, and I think you did go pretty bright.
Pretty bright. One more. This is the last stencil. Lining up my triangles again. It makes it so easy.
Yeah.
I would love to do those hearts and stars. I bet that's fun.
They used to have just little lines that you lined up. So having the triangles, I don't know who thought of it at Pinkfresh.
They were smart.
But it makes a big difference.
And I'm going to go really dark on this little guy.
So you're using the same ink.
I'm going to use the same ink. I don't use Twisted Citron very often, but I made a St. Patrick's Day card.
Do.
Yes, and this Twisted Citron glaze, it is green, and I really liked it.
This has got to be Twisted Citron on here on the craft.
Probably, yeah.
That's the thing about oxides. You can use them on craft and darker colors, and you still can see the color because of the pigment in those ink pads.
And sometimes it's fun just to get out a color that you don't use very often.
Well, and you know what? You could, I don't know, you could do a lot of this. Part of things like this is what it's fun that you can just be creative with, because you can try different colors.
Oh, yeah.
And see what you like. And if someone's getting married and you want to use these florals, maybe you do all like pastel colors or their wedding colors.
Or their wedding colors.
And you could do the same exact card here, but, you know, say congratulations or Mr. and Mrs. and you'd have lots of different options.
All right.
Okay, you're right, Teresa. That looks kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, hey, let me take a picture of that. Oh, never mind. I don't have my camera here.
Here, I'll take a picture.
Teresa's going to take a picture because I want to show like the before and after.
Good idea.
Then we can put that on our blog for everybody.
Normally we would do it and go, oh, we should have taken a picture.
I know, we do that a lot.
Why didn't we take a picture of that?
And here's the colors. We'll watch how Teresa does this, and then I'll review the colors. Do you have enough room there, Teresa?
Whoops, I dropped my plate. Yeah.
All right, so
Okay,
now
bring
you've got
us
the
over
dye.
here. So I still have my washi tape on there from before. So I can just line up my triangles. And you see the dots too, but
Yeah.
but really you're lining up your triangles.
All right,
which I
get
was
ready,
like,
everybody. This is going to be the cool. Once you see this, and she's going to run it through the big shot.
I'm just going to go back through. Uh-oh.
Do you need to go
That's what
again?
I was afraid of. My mat, my cutting mat, didn't quite catch it. Sometimes if you put it diagonally, I had it pretty straight.
Let's do it again.
There, it's cracking. Hopefully I got it that time.
Well, luckily it was all taped to the paper, so you could check it. So that's a good tip to check it out and
Yeah.
make sure it's going to be okay. And here, and
I think
Teresa's
it worked that
just
time.
pulling it off. It looks good. Ooh,
Oh.
can't wait to see it.
I left some of my dots on my
Oh.
cutting plate. They popped out.
All right, so we got to take everything, and here it is on the paper.
Everything came out there.
Oh, look at all these
Aren't
pieces.
they pretty?
They are.
And you don't have to use one of the ones. They put a gem on the class one here. We had a gem, you know, in the flowers,
could
which
put
would be
gems
really
on 'em.
pretty too.
And these are good for scrapbook layouts.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, couldn't you see this on around the corner of a title or a photo, or up in the corners, or just, you guys just think Peggy right here on a layout.
They're kind of, I'm trying to hurry, but they're kind of delicate. I don't want to rip them. And you see all the little cuts?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And how cute they are.
They're really
I mean,
cute.
it's just, the before and after, like you said, Kelly, is just like, oh.
It's the fun part.
Now it's like, ooh, ah, yes.
And so she used on these, let's just review the colors in case you want the exact colors. Twisted Citron, Spiced Marmalade, Squeezed Lemonade, Kitsch Flamingo, and Salvage Patina. Oh, Teresa, how nice. She's got them all organized for us. Good color combination.
Yeah. Well, just nice and bright.
Teresa's going to take a picture for us. I
It's
left
not
my
the best.
phone over on the other table. Very
And then
cool.
you can just put your card together, however you want to do it. You've got some beautiful flowers, or you can stick them in your bag and
save them for future projects.
Especially these little dots. Or figure out, your color combinations. And these are nice because, you can layer them if you want. Like that. Or you can just make them plain. Maybe that one.
There you go. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities.
There's lots of different ways to do it.
It's a good thing we're finishing up because we just got word that Janet's internet is down. So she can't link anything right now, you guys. But you can go to our calendar and it has everything here that Teresa used today. Oh gosh, look at them put together.
Cute?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to tell one more thing about this other
please do.
set.
Teresa, those are awesome. I love it when you put the orange in the middle of the blue flower is so cool.
Yeah. You just have to try different color combinations and see what you like. Okay, so remember I said don't cut your stamp apart because you're going to stamp it. Now this is probably what I would do with this one. So I would put your stamp in your MISTI and stamp it, then leave the stamp in your MISTI. Okay? Then get your stencils out. Again, is there only 4 in this one? Or maybe it's only 4 in this one. Get your stencils out. Do your stenciling. I think this is number 1. Yeah, this is stencil number 1. Now, this one doesn't have the triangles. I don't know why they didn't do triangles, but they're still pretty easy to line up.
If you've stamped it first.
Yeah, you stamp it first.
Pretty much line
Maybe
it up.
that's why, because you don't need
Because you don't have the triangles.
Genius, Kelly.
Well, just thinking.
Okay, yeah. So then, you do your stencils. You go through and do your colors. And they get all the colors. They're real pretty. And you can do whatever colors you want. Then you'll have this piece, put it back in the MISTI and stamp again.
Over the top of your
Because
stencil.
when you stencil, especially if you're using oxides, it's going to blur the lines a little bit.
Okay.
You're probably going to stamp it with a black or brown or maybe a gray. But that way, then the image is sharper. So try and remember to do that. Obviously, I can't do that.
Stamp it, and then you stencil it,
and then you do your stencil,
and then stamp
it again, and then you're going to die cut. I don't know.
Or color it with your markers if that's what you're going to do. Whatever you're going to do.
I don't know where my...
Teresa, I see we had a comment earlier.
Oh, it's right here.
About the flowers and how they cut right to the edge. And you don't have the little white line like you do on these little pieces. You can see
there's just a little teeny line. I mean, it's not very big on this one. You can see.
And there is on most every die and stamp set. There's usually always a line, but not on the flowers. I didn't realize that.
Well, because you don't stamp it.
Right.
And you just,
But
there isn't a line, but
it
doesn't leave a white edge.
A white edge.
No.
Someone said that way back in the beginning, and I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
But.
All right. Lots of fun things from Pinkfresh.
I guess. So it's Monday at Memory Bound and many other places too. And Teresa just showed us all of the cool stuff here that she made with the Pinkfresh Studios. And some others, like Mr. Rabbit.
Yes. Well, I still use the oval and the sentiment, but if you're not an oval person, maybe think about this oval because
give it a shot.
The double stitching it's a little bit different, and I did enjoy using it.
It was great. It was awesome.
Besides my oval aversion, I had fun using it.
And just to let everybody know that tomorrow's a craft along.
Oh.
So tomorrow we're crafting along and we're making the classic Winnie the Pooh cards from the Simple Stories card kit. So if you've got that, you're going to need to open it up, get it open before tomorrow if you want to craft along live, and punch out your pieces and sort them card by card. Because that's
doing that?
Me, I get to do that tomorrow.
All right, Kelly.
That's what I'm planning to do. And if you want to ink, you can ink your pieces. And we're going to make the 8 cards tomorrow from the Winnie the Pooh. We should probably just go up and show that. I didn't think to bring it back. We got Diana over here.
Where
And
is it
tomorrow,
at, Kelly?
it's over on the end cap. Tomorrow, you guys, the new Katie Petite collection releases. And we are receiving it today. So we will have our first order of it tomorrow. So we'll have it on the release day. And it's called Hidden Creek, and I think you're going to love it. So there's a lot going on tomorrow, Teresa.
Yeah.
If Katie Petite's new collection releases, and we have several other things in the works. So here's the card kit for tomorrow.
$14.99.
It makes
Very
the
cute.
super, super duper cute cards from Winnie the Pooh.
Very
Teresa,
cute.
everyone's saying thank you for the great video. Betty loves your sweater, which I do too.
Thank you, Betty.
They think it was a fun set, and it was.
Oh, good.
And Chris loved them all. And Lisa says, always learning with Memory Bound. Thanks. Great demos. Lots of good comments, Teresa. So thank you for that.
Good.
And everyone, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow at the same time, and we'll be doing our Winnie the Pooh cards. So we'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great day and have a crafty day. It's going to be cold. Great crafting time, I would say.
Definitely this
So
week.
see you tomorrow, everyone. Thank you.